So by continuing to give a little bit of ourselves, be it time, money, time, resources, or time or resources, you know, our talent. We can always dedicate that little bit of charity, that little bit, making the community better. Like for instance, if you unfortunately, if you've been fast during Ramadan, you broke it, unfortunately, for some reason, and you have to make it up. You can always give food away in the community. Donating some other time, and taking care of some other stuff, but definitely donating food in the community, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, you can feed 60 indigenous persons or fast 60 days straight, consecutively, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Holy Quran, He did not make this to be difficult for us, but He wished for us ease. But He didn't make this to be so difficult for us like it's a fitna. No, Ramadan is for all our self-constraint. Now, in Surah Ar-Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about why should we fast during the month of Ramadan? What are pretty much the reasons. Surah Ar-Rahman, meaning the Allah most gracious, most merciful. The most gracious Allah, He has taught you, He has taught you, mankind, the Quran by His mercy. He created man, He taught him eloquent speech. The sun and the moon run on their fixed courses exactly calculated with measured out stages for each for the reckoning. And for the herbs or stars and the trees, both prostrate themselves to Allah. Stars and trees prostrate themselves to Allah. Inshallah, I definitely want to come back to that, because when we speak about how that one ayah is so magnified, it'll blow your mind if you think about it. And inshallah, we'll come to that shortly. In the heaven, He has raised it high, and He has set up the balance, in order that you may not transgress, and do balance, and observe the weight with equity, and do not make the balance deficient. And the earth He has put down or laid down for the creatures. Therein are fruits, date palms producing shaken fruit stalks, enclosing dates, and also corn, with its leaves and stalk for fodder and sweet-scented plants. Then, which of the blessings of your Lord, which you will both, which of the blessings of your Lord will you deny? He created Adam from sounding clay, like the clay of pottery, and the jinn He created from a smokeless fire. Which of the blessings of your Lord will you deny? Okay, mind you, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to repeat Himself on and on and on. But the part when He says about and the herbs, the stars, and the trees will prostrate themselves for Allah. Okay, stars. Okay, now star, they look like something glittering in the sky. These stars are planets, numerous galaxies, other galaxies. You have no choice but to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you just think about this. I spoke about some planet called sun called Betelgeuse about a year ago and everything. And when you look at how the whole universe, how the whole universe is patterned, you think about who in the world created this. And Allah said, in heaven He has raised it high and set up the balance. We, as Muslims, have no other choice but to bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. So, brothers and sisters, this is Islam, and we are Muslims. So, by keeping to some of the few tenets of Islam, then we're talking about the Aadam, the justice of God. At no point in time, we have no choice but to mention about the justice of God. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about justice. Islamic law is based on the Holy Quran. Like some of the most recent happenings with verdicts and whatnot. When I think about that Islamically, I try to take that to Islam. Right? No racism in Islam. Everything is with this due balance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says right here, and observe the weight with equity, and do not make the balance deficient. You know, when you go to the courthouse, they have the Lady of Justice, or some Greek goddess where she holds up the scale with the balances and everything. So if we're to judge between anyone, we have to do it with balance. And with that, the most recent happenings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that I have my personal views about that. I feel very strongly about that. But as Muslims, how should we react? If anything, we'll give a brief talk, maybe express a few feelings. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, cannot act like savages. We don't act like savages because we're Muslims. Muslims are refined people. We have a refined culture. We have to ask ourselves the questions, and maybe people may have. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go to Mecca? Why did the last prophet of Islam come through Prophet Ishmael, alayhi salam? And why did it happen to be in Saudi Arabia, which in essence, the current term of Saudi Arabia was part of Africa at one time, due to plate tectonics and the movement of ships, obviously separated. But no matter what, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pick that? Okay? The most unruly people on earth, the Arabs. Pick them, if they can get straight, and then the whole world can easily follow suit. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of knowers, Allah is the best of knowers. As Muslims, we cannot act like savages. That was one of the lessons I was taught a long time ago. What is the duty of the civilized? Duty of the civilized to civilize the uncivilized. Same thing with the educated. It's the duty of the educated man to educate the uneducated. Okay? We're civilized people. We're civilized individuals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this Holy Quran. It's so beautiful because the Holy Quran is an instruction book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already know about the other two books. Akhla al-Kitab, people of the book. You know, the Torah, Zabur, and the Injil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already told the stories in there. Everything was already told up in there. The original text that was revealed. Everything was already revealed in that. Speaking about the stories about the children of Israel, and so on and so forth. Noah, Islam, and all the other prophets and all the things. Allah spoke about that. But now we had to find out how to conduct ourselves, how to do business. Don't you know just by doing business? We'll always begin in terms of, always begin with Bismillah. Like I begin with the name of Allah. Just by doing business. What that does, that blesses our business. And allows us, inshallah, to be prosperous. And just saying many things we could also say, like that Surah Al-Waqa'iyah, which is Surah 56. It said that if you say that Surah, when you recite that Surah, it really definitely have a lot of other benefits, inshallah. We'll speak about that shortly. Salawat Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim wa lad-dallin. We had a lot of things happen within this past, I should say within this month. It was been the most exciting month. I'm not saying exciting is making you want to dance for joy, but exciting, a lot of things have been going on. Such as the heat wave has been going on. Why is Ramadan on a lunar calendar? Reason why, it allows everyone in the world to get a taste of it. This is off the record. Everyone in the world can get a taste of it. If you, like people who are in the hotter regions, i.e. deserts like Sahara, Saudi Arabia and so on and so forth, it's really, really hot over there. And I did Ramadan over there. Allah's most merciful, there's only a lot of brought me through that. But guess what? In other parts of the world, it's cool. Like such as in Australia or in South America. It's really cool down there. Nice and cool, you know? So their summers are short. Then guess what? When Ramadan comes around again, or when it, maybe every 4 or 5 years or something like that, when it's long down there, and they have long Ramadan periods down there, up here is short. And I was thinking about that too, up in Alaska, how Muslims up there, their days are much longer. But during this month of Ramadan, other than the heat wave, we had a few birds come through, and a lot of riding was going on. And I was praying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it didn't happen like the Rocks riots or like the riots in '91, when a lot of people just had too much of it, and they just tore up almost all of Los Angeles. A lot of things are not being built anymore. A lot of things can't be built because that was something that just got messed up. But how can we as Muslims combat that? With knowledge, with our iman. You know? It's a blessing, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing that we are all Muslims. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of knowers that if I wasn't a Muslim, if I didn't have this taqwa, if I didn't have this iman, where would I be right now? What would I be doing? Will we be one of those people down in the Lenon Park, downtown LA, New York, getting arrested because they didn't like the verdict on Trayvon Martin? You know? I think there's many better ways to take care of business. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about this so much in the Holy Quran. It's in the Surah 25, Al-Furqan. Name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Blessed is he who set down the criterion of right and wrong, this Quran, to his slave Muhammad, that he may have warning to the Alameen, mankind and jinn. Consider not that the disbelievers can escape in the land. Their abode shall be the fire. And worse indeed is that destination. Okay? Disbelievers. Who is the Kafirin. The disbelievers, their abode is a hellfire. By default. It's going to happen. But us as being Muslims, we have many ways to express our belief. Many ways to use the criterion of right and wrong. And alhamdulillah, we're all sitting here right now, we weren't part of that group down there that was doing wrong. However, whatever feelings they had, or we all have, I just take that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah knows I can't afford it. I literally can't afford to get arrested right now, or not get arrested, get caught up in some stuff. Allah's the best knowers, we can't afford it. So as Muslims, we have to think of other ways. What can we do to help society? You know? Establish corporations. You know? Like we have a lot of Muslims coming from behind the walls. A lot of Muslims come from behind the walls, male and female. They need a place to stay. Or if they don't need a place to stay, they need resources. They need business. How can they have many resources out here, inshallah, for the next coming months, or before the year's end, we're gonna have some stuff going on where we have some major resources. I'm not saying Muslims in this masjid. We have some major resources, but Muslims come from behind the walls. What can we do for them? You know, from healthcare, we're gonna have some healthcare going on. You know, from other resources of schooling, you know, housing. You know, Muslims and Muslims have children. What can we do for them? Health. Matter of fact, health is one of the major things that keep us in the state we're in. As I was cruising around the neighborhood and everything, I see that we don't have that much health care. Or we don't have that much, if not health care, it's social care. A lot of things that can be done for us is not being done. Who can do that? Only as Muslims. We can do that. Remember that thing about zakat? Zakat. It's charity. What kind of resources can we provide to our fellow human beings? What can we provide to them to make things better? I know myself, I pray that I can come upon something like that, where I can definitely do something to help some other Muslims. And whatever I can do, I try to see what I can do to help some other people. Because the key thing is, if you don't help this individual, they can become a fitna, if not on you, on your family later on. So as Muslims, what can we do to change society? You know, there's a lot of things we can do to change society. And we're doing one of them right now. Coming to June. Alhamdulillah. Salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As I close very briefly, speaking about Ramadan or changing our society, what can we do to make things better? I would like to, inshallah, bring your attention, inshallah, to Surah 5, Al-Ma'idah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. O you who believe, violate not the sanctity of the symbols of Allah, nor the sacred month, nor the animals brought for sacrifice, nor the garlanded people or animals, and others, nor the people coming to the sacred house of Mecca, seeking the bounty and good pleasure of their Lord. But when you finish the Ikram or Hajj or Umrah, you may hunt, and then not your hatred of some people, and once stop you at Masjid al-Haram in Mecca lead you to transgression or hostility on your part. Help one another in al-bir and al-taqwa, virtue and righteousness and piety. But do not help one another in sin and transgression. And fear Allah. Verily, Allah is severe in punishment. No, please, brothers and sisters, this is one thing. Help you one another in al-taqwa. But do not help one another in sin and transgression. What is transgression? It's everything about fighting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this Islam is so wonderful. He teaches us how to fight in due course. If a person is coming on me, we have to go head up, right? With fists, inshallah. Yeah, I'm gonna use fists. However, this person has some other weapons or whatever, I'm gonna act accordingly. I'm gonna elevate my fighting skill to, unfortunately, to defense. You know? However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, if they stop, you stop. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love not the transgressors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says right here, help one another in our and taqwa, but Allah does not, but do not help one another in sin and transgression. Okay? Now just that little brief point telling you about the elevation of defense and so forth. Let's take that on the verdict. Okay? While I was a young man shot, Allah's best knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was right there when that happened. I wish I knew. But I know that I wouldn't want that on my conscience ever in my life. But man, he can be free right now. He can be free forever. Guess what? God is the best of judges. Al-Adl, the just. Allah is the just. Al-Adl. So Allah is the just. Allah's going to take care of that. Me as a man, I will defend myself to the best. I will defend myself against aggression. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends, and fear Allah, verily, Allah is severe in punishment. And forbidden to you for food are al-maita, the dead animals, cattle, beasts, not slaughtered, blood, the flesh of swine, and that on which Allah's name has not been mentioned while slaughtering. And that which has been slaughtered as a sacrifice for others other than Allah, or has been slaughtered for idols. And that which has been killed by strangling, or the violent blow, or by a headlong fall, or by the pointing of horns. And that which has been partly eaten by a wild animal. Okay? Remember we talked about the civilized, civilized and uncivilized. Okay? Islam, the Holy Quran, came giving us civilization, giving us knowledge, giving us education. We are not allowed to be scavengers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says right there. I don't know, maybe I could be reading it wrong. It said, killed by strangling, or violent blow, or by headlong fall, or by pointing of horns. And that which has been partly eaten by a wild animal, unless you are able to slaughter it before its death. That's what's slaughtered on stone altars and so forth. Allah speaks on that. So when it can't really be